Father God,
Father God,
we
we thank you
for this food.
for this
We
food.
ask you bless
We ask you to bless it,
it. It's another
make it nourishment
to your body.
to our bodies.
Feed it all the poor boys and girls
Bless all the boys and girls
all over the world.
all over the world
Receive food
to receive food
in Jesus' name.
in Jesus' name.
Amen.
All right, welcome everybody to Here Comes the Flood, hosted by myself, Awakened Saint. I'm going to start with Isaiah 11:6. As always, the lion shall lie down with the lamb, and the bear shall eat grass like the ox. And the child shall play on the hole of the asp, and nothing shall hurt nor destroy in all my holy mountain. Well, I'm simulcasting again today on YouTube and Rumble. And I'm going to go straight through. If Rumble kicks me off, or if YouTube kicks me off, I don't think Rumble will. But if YouTube kicks me off, I'm just going to keep trucking. So be ready to be on Rumble or move over there if you want. But I'm going to run on both, and I'm not going to change any of my presentation for you. What we're going to talk about today. So I have some topics. The Epstein list. I know it's ridiculous. Politics are fake, but I'm just going to give you a brief. This is why this list isn't going to come out. It's a real list, and Epstein's a real person. But you guys are pretty smart on here. You probably already know. But I'm going to go ahead and show you. Blue ice has been falling through many parts of the United States. I was slow to jump onto this one, but I have independent confirmations that it did fall and was found in Mississippi. I can't remember the other three states that I was able to confirm it. There was like two others I couldn't confirm, but there was enough confirmed that I'm going to show you it. It is real. More fake news, of course. And why are children afraid of AI? We'll show you that. I was reluctant to show you this video because I don't like showing children being afraid. It's not fun, but it's we need to be aware of it, and I'll tell you why. I mean, it's an easy why. The 100-year flood in my home state of Texas. The 100-year flood, more like 10-year flood. We're going to talk about that, and I made a post. I have 33 reasons to show you, and that will make sense. So I'll cover that as the last topic. We'll take a break, and I'll take some call-ins. And like I said, if YouTube kicks me off, then just move over to Rumble. The link is in the description. I am on Rumble right now. Look over in the chat room. I got Sunshine in Maine hanging out over there on Rumble, so she's ready in case it goes down on YouTube anyway. Well, let's roll right into this thing. So the Epstein list. I know you guys, I'm not trying to insult my crowd. So, well, here is why there's no Epstein list. Let's see if this gets me kicked off of YouTube. I'll just show you right here. Well, that is why, and I'm still on YouTube. That didn't kick me off. I thought maybe that one would get me kicked off, but it didn't. So am I talking? Yes, I'm talking to you. Good. All right, let's move on. Moving right along, let's get to blue ice. Now, I covered blue ice before, Of course, I don't 100% know what it is. I believe it has something to do with the firmament. It's like elements of the firmament, the dome, whatever. We don't, we don't receive actual education, us people that aren't in the 1% elite, but it's some kind of element that can be, it's tangible. It can land in your yard apparently. So I'll show you the recap of blue ice, and then I'm going to show you a video of a piece of it that landed. I think the guy is in Mississippi, I believe, because there's 3 of them that were confirmed. I can't remember what state this guy was in. I think it was Mississippi. So I'll play this for you.
Place. It's pretty common to find ice walls and ice cliffs all over Antarctica. The whole place is ice, but it's just normal white or clear ice. So I asked my friend where they get the sky ice from, and he said it comes from the wall. I don't remember exactly how he described it, but apparently there's a huge wall of sky ice in Antarctica. He said it was hundreds of miles inland from the coast. I never got to see it myself because I was only, and then I'm going to skip forward, stationed to McMurdo. I didn't get to go out on expeditions. He said it was the biggest natural structure in the world. Imagine that. He said that in the 1960s, the U.S. Army had a plan to bore a tunnel into the wall, but they didn't have a boring machine that could handle the super cold temperatures, so they had a whole testing project in Greenland where they developed ice tunnels and invented new boring machines that could operate in super cold temperatures. So this was back when they were going into forming NASA and all the other things that were kind of strange, the Antarctic Treaty, around that time, pretty close to it. And he says, like they did this whole big thing in Greenland for just practice. So it was like they were practicing to bore into the sky ice. I'm not an expert on that, but that's just what he told me. Then, once they had the new boring machine figured out, they brought it to the ice wall, or to the wall in Antarctica. He said that the machine bored a tunnel. I don't remember exactly, it was like 5 or 10 miles into the wall, but that they never broke through the other side of the wall, and that they still don't know how thick the wall is even to this day. And I'm probably not remembering this part correctly, but I think he said that at first the floor of the tunnel was solid rock, but after a mile or 2 in, the floor was sky ice, like it was sky ice underneath after a certain point, or something like that. And apparently the wall slowly builds itself back up. So it slowly builds itself back up after you cut it, because after a year or so, the tunnel had shrunk smaller all by itself, like a self-healing wound. It starts closing up. They had to leave the boring machine inside the wall because the tunnel shrunk too small to get it back out. And after a few decades, the tunnel was completely gone. Like the part of the wall was solid again. He said that now the scientists were trying to use technology to figure out how thick the wall is. He said something about putting earthquake sensors all along the wall, and that somehow you could measure the signal from an earthquake to see how thick the wall is. But he kind of lost me on that part. I never really thought about any of that after I left. It was really weird stuff, but I didn't think it was a big deal at the time. But then a few weeks ago, I saw a map of the wall in Antarctica, except the map was all flat and crazy looking, and it showed the wall going all the way up over the whole Earth. So since then, I've been trying to learn more about the sky ice that I saw and the wall that I heard about, but I can't find anything at all. So now I'm really wondering if there could be a connection here. And that's how I found this group. So I hope that maybe some part of my experience will help someone figure something out. Well, thankful to that person. If they were telling the truth, that is some very interesting information given what we know surrounds us. We know that the firmament's not just made out of ice. It's something special. That could just be something near the foundation to prevent you from going all the way to it. The Father's design is very complex, and he has foreknowledge. He knows what mankind's going to try to do. Those little nuclear bombs they shot at the firmament was nothing to the firmament. They can't break it. They've tried. If they could they would, but they can't. And this is just one of those stories that confirms a lot of what I had assumed would be going on. I always thought, man, if they are out there and they can go to it, they're probably trying to drill through it. And if they are, how have they not gotten through it already? And that would answer the question for you, because it closes up as you go through it. But this was back in the 60s. There's no telling what they're trying now, mostly guarding it. I'm sure that's the biggest job they have, is keeping us from going there. And if you do go there, you can only go to certain places. It is tens of thousands of dollars for a one-way ticket. Otherwise, many of us would have already gone there, tried to do some sneaking around and investigating. But this video here, it only had like 300 views. But really cool stuff. Wanted to pass this along. I know the days of censorship have it to where you can't find stuff like this anymore. And I remembered putting it in my Firmament playlist. I just wasn't sure if you guys had heard about this and wanted to pass it along to you. And
I don't know what to think. That meteor flew over today, Williamston, South Carolina. And this is what I found. And I don't know what that is. It's got a glow to it. Feels cold to the touch. If anybody out there knows what this is, let me know. It's beautiful.
All right, South Carolina. I got another one from Mississippi, so I got those two confused. But I don't know, man. If I had a something glowing in my living room, I don't know if I'd want to touch it. I don't know if it would be, giving radiation from it or something like that. Freaking crazy. All right, so let's roll into more fake news. All news is fake. There's pieces of news that's real, and I'll cover that when we get to the floods. But the news is fake. And here is more truther news, fake news. I guess it'd be like part 4. I've lost count. Check it out.
Here's the outrage. It's all scripted.
Thanks, Deborah. The situation behind me?
None of this is real. The illusion is the event.
It's all trauma-based mind control. I'm just a crisis actor. They pay me in Visa gift cards. I can cry on command.
They had turbans on, and one of them was carrying his prayer rug.
Wait, let's do it again.
We're just here to manufacture consent for all the terrible things your masters want to do to you.
They say the military is at least 30 years ahead in technology. Just imagine the kind of AI they've already developed.
Breaking news. It turns out that listening to the health experts makes you the resistance. Let's see how that's working out. We go live to Libtard City.
So what's wrong here exactly?
Cows are dying so people can eat cows, and they're farting. We need to destroy the farms.
As soon as I saw that Netflix documentary, I stopped eating meat and started recycling. I don't eat red meat, and I lowered my cholesterol.
I'm here with a triple boosted science truster. How's it going?
Can you believe I look this good for 32?
We never eat cholesterol. That stuff's toxic.
Even though testosterone is mostly made from it.
Same with our brains. But hey, who needs those? Those vegans are going to be incredibly healthy. They don't stress their bodies with workouts, which, as we know, is just bad for your health.
Why have them eating this when we could have them eating this? Trust me, I'm a doctor.
Seriously, just trust your doctors.
Right. Be terrified of small farms. Let the corporations feed us.
Exactly. This segment is sponsored by Monsanto.
At Monsanto, we engineer your fruits and veggies with chemicals that reshape your hormones and give you cancer.
Eat your corn, soy, and wheat, boy.
Such an ethical sponsor working alongside Big Pharma. Dangerous duo.
I agree, Jackie, but I want to see more climate clowns. Back to the unhealthy people.
These cows, they're AI. So I don't really need to whisper. Which of these boats are AI? That one. Oh, and this one. What about this bridge? It's AI. I'm on a wall. This cobblestone path. It's AI. What about this bench? It's real. Were you waiting for me to fall? Because that's rude. Is this ferry boat real? Yeah. What about these mountains? AI? What about this stream? It's real. What about this balcony? It's real. Oh, I gotta go. My fairy's here. Just kidding. That's AI.
Is here. And then there she is. and this man is here. Where is he? He's here. And then he's here as well. Though my favourite one is this lady who's in front of Tao, who is behind Tao, but just doing the same face. They're quite literally doing the same face. I just don't understand. Why didn't they change their costumes? At least take off the accessories, man. Like, what?
So this right here was actually broadcast on Sky News. This is a spot. So I'm showing you guys actual fakes too. And we're going to get into some with the flood as well, which is going to be very interesting. All right, one more for you, and then we're going to get into some more serious type things.
That's canceled. We go live to the founders of Neuralink.
This is the mark of the beast. Once it enters your brain, you will become like God.
Amazing. Back to the artificial space program. Jim, take it away.
Look, we still haven't made it past lower Earth orbit, but we want you to think space technology is advancing, even though we can't make it past the radiation belt. Look at this massive shaft of a spaceship. Wow. And please stop saying firmament or Operation Fishbowl. Those are my trigger words.
Well, they finally sent that big penis-looking thing into space, huh?
And it returned.
Let's go live to where our clean energy comes from in the Congo. John?
We're in Congo, where these men dig with bare hands so you can tweet from your electric car.
How's your green energy project going? These people work for nothing, and it's awesome. This is the future. These charcoal people rock.
Charcoal people? Really?
Okay, I think you've gotten soft since last time.
You might be right. We go live to Bergsteinowitz.
This will be great for profits. Oh, get to work, boy. Or should I say goy boy to you?
All of our products come from clean energy.
It's cruelty-free, we promise.
We're innocent.
How can you call this clean energy?
Yeah. No people were harmed in this process.
Of course there are. Look at these people.
We usually count at night.
Sounds like it's all pretty ethical.
You're retarded, Ben. That's the real reason why. In other news, have you seen how they farm lithium?
We're here in Chile, where lithium mining drained their water so your phone stays charged.
We're still waiting for rain.
This is how we get lithium. Now that this land is in a drought, we can finally all have iPhones.
Yeah, that was a parody, but that stuff is actually mined with bare hands over there in the third world countries. That is true. Unfortunately, that is true. All right. Well, moving on to children being afraid of AI. So covered this many times on my channel. All of the AI is named after different type of evil entities, demons and whatnot. You have Echo, which Echo is a type of demon. It's called a familiar spirit. Echo will mimic a dead loved one. So you'll hear like your deceased mother or brother or sister roaming around in your house. And that is Echo. That's not your loved one. And you may get phone calls from them, all kinds of stuff. So Echo is a horrible thing. Alexis is the antecedent of Logos. Logos could also be referred to as the Word. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God, and the Word, right? So Logos, Alexa means Antichrist. So when you're saying, Alexis, what's the weather? You're saying Antichrist, what's the weather? So that's not a good thing. Siri is also a god. I think it's a goddess, which is part of the fallen, which is evil. And there's another one, but they roll through basically the most popular ones in this video. So the children are basically, when you're calling these names, we think about this. We only really see 5% of our reality. Our light spectrum, we don't see hardly anything. We see mainly the red spectrum down to the deep blue. and then everything else we don't see. But children who are innocent at heart, they see more spiritually than adults do. Most all of us. I mean, it's a fact. As you grow older, you lose it, and children can see it. So as their parents are summoning these evil entities to turn lights on and whatnot, something is appearing in the house when it happens, and the children are either sensing it, seeing it, hearing it, feeling it. They know it's happening. Their parents, who are spiritually challenged, so I'm saying that nicely, it's not the word I want to use, but the spiritually challenged parents think it's funny because they don't realize the world they're living in. They don't realize what we're standing in now and what's about to happen, what's coming. So without further ado, here are children afraid of AI and the parents thinking it's funny. Here you go.
Alexa!
Hey Google. Hey Google, what's the weather like tomorrow?
I forgot to explain Google. So Google, I got to think evil reads forwards, backwards, and upside down. So Google backwards is El Goog, which means the God, the baby God, the Antichrist. So Google means Antichrist backwards. Just so you know, understand that. And let's play more.
Hey Google.
Are you ready to go memes? Hey Google.
Hi, Madison. Hey, Google, what's the temperature outside?
Okay Google, turn on the lamp. It's okay, it's okay. Belinda, I hear you. Hey Google.
Grayson.
No babe!
Turn around like that, TT. She didn't get it.
All right. So that is that. And they think it's funny. And it really, I didn't want to show it, but we need to realize the world we're living in. So some of this stuff is, it has to be, I have to show you. I've said this stuff was evil from the beginning. Anyone using ChatGPT, you can't just passively use this stuff. You're talking to the fallen. You truly are. I know I may sound crazy to some of you. Some of you are using it and think it's great. It's not a good thing. None of it is. I don't have any of that stuff turned on my phone. It's always listening. You can't turn it completely off, and I have to have the freaking phone for work, which is unfortunate. It's always around, but I guess knowing is half the battle, right? Well, I'm going to move on into some pictures for you. This one I just thought was interesting, so I wanted to show you this. It says, Freemason and Scientology headquarters in Hemet, California. Do you see why these buildings are never affected by catastrophic events? Do you see? So I just kind of thought it was funny. All the buildings in this Freemason Scientology headquarters are blue roofed, every one of them in California. And every time there's a fire, they never get hit with any fire. So I thought that was neat to show you. And then somebody was spamming me or something last time I was live. I don't know if they were being serious, but they said nuclear submarines weren't real. Well, this is one of my lieutenant friends. She is stationed on this submarine and sent this picture. This is them swimming when they were taking a break, not submerged, obviously. So they do little swimming events, and guess what? They listened to the live stream, and they were like, here, we're real. Check it out. So there you go. Submarines are real. I think most of you all believe submarines are real. I just thought that, I know. So anyway, let's move on and talk about this flood. So why would I know anything about the flood? Well, this flood is in my home state of Texas. It's my stomping ground. I have tons of connections there. I am from there. Well, Kerrville, where the flood the flood was mainly focused on Kerrville. Let's talk about why it happened and how it happened. there was a development of a tropic depression in the Gulf of America. I guess we call it that now. And it was turning into basically a hurricane, but it didn't form completely. It traveled up the coast. And as it traveled up the coast, it hit the west side of San Antonio over Kerrville, the Canyon Lake, Kerrville. I think Gates is up there. And then you have Travis Lake is up more northeast towards Austin. Those areas, the Guadalupe River was the main river affected. Now, this depression hit another storm heading from the northeast, which arguably might have been pushed there through artificial means. And I am not saying it wasn't. I'm not saying it was, but it might have been. One thing I'd like you guys to consider, because the truth community jumps a lot to humans causing all this. You know, in this time frame, we're supposed to have strange weather in diverse places. So it is, and God is in control. God does still control weather. It's not, man has only begun playing around with weather since Operation Popeye in Vietnam, where we really got our hands in it. And now it's pretty advanced. We can affect it quite a bit. Storm might have been completely manufactured, but it was due to happen. So the news will tell you it's a 100-year flood. I researched Kerrville, and I've talked to, my wife was born in Texas, and their family's always been there. The Kerrville area, the limestone Kerrville area that's in a valley, has always been a flood zone, and it floods every 10 years. It's a 10-year flood, not a 100-year flood. Every 10 years it floods. This flood was more aggressive than most of the other floods. We have that, and that's probably where people are getting into it was manipulated, because it was a little more aggressive. Instead of the normal flood of a 15-foot rise, I think they had 30-foot rise in some areas, which is far more aggressive than usual. So there is that, right? Well, there is some particular things with it. So let's get into the Camp Mystic in Kerrville, which is very, very interesting. Camp Mystic. I researched Camp Mystic, and I found out some very strange things. So Camp Mystic is, they call themselves a Christian camp. Reading into Camp Mystic, and this is supposed to be the Bubble Inn is supposed to be the girls that died with the camp counselor in the upper corner there. They were supposed to be the ones that died. And yeah, Little Masons. Yeah, oh, man, Justine's jumping ahead. Well, so here's what I found out. The Mystic Camp, Christian air quote camp, they call themselves Christian, but in their mission statement, nowhere, I read their entire website, I read their entire history, and nowhere in the history of this place is the word Jesus mentioned at all. Yeshua, Yahuwah, no names, Savior, saving, none of that is mentioned. It's at best, it's like a Joel Osteen type place. You know, they have praise and worship, but there's no Jesus. If any Jesus is mentioned, it's the campers bringing that word into the realm. It's not in the mission statement. If you guys can see something I'm not and I'm missing it, let me know. But I couldn't find it. And I'm gonna jump back to this picture, but check this picture out. This is mainly how the camp is set up. It's set up in two tribes, the Kiowa and the Tanakawaka or whatever. I don't know how to pronounce that. It is the blue against the red. Listen to me. The blue against the red. The blue is the West Mason Lodge, and the red is the East Mason Lodge. The blue is the Western world. The East is the Eastern world. This is Masons in training. Justine got it right. She jumped to the head. And the winner of the different matches they have become, come on, anybody know? Anybody know? I know it's kind of slow and there's a lag. Purple. You get the purple royalty color. Somebody probably guessed it. It's just very slow. So you have these two tribes. Now going back to these guys, here's what I did. I'm gonna show you a couple news reports that's going to show you that this flood continues to happen over and over again. My best guess, and this is a guess, I don't know for sure, my best guess every 10 years. Every 10 years, air quotes, little girls go missing. Now, this is like 9/11. Like at any time, this may get me shut down. So this is we're moving into maybe YouTube will shut it down. Let's see. If it shuts down, go to Rumble because I'm going to keep talking. But I really think we're venturing into some hard truth here. I researched every one of these names, every one of these people, and these are stock photos. They're stock photos, which means they're created. None of them have a social media presence. There's no social media presence. If any of you guys find something I couldn't find, please email me. Please email me and correct me. You send the email to this email right here. If you can find something I couldn't find, I researched every one of these girls. I could not find anything other than people mentioning that they knew they died and mentioning that they knew they were missing. And it was like the coronavirus thing. It was a friend of a friend knows somebody that knows somebody. And I know I talked to Ernie, and he said his wife knew a girl that died from the camp, but his wife knew a friend that had a friend. It was one of those. I don't know any first hand. And Ernie, when you listen to this, if you have first hand information, send it to me and I'll share it with the crowd, because I don't have any one-on-one. Yes, this person I was talking to yesterday from that camp is gone. Nothing like that. It was very, very much like the coronavirus 19 situation. Very, very much. I know a guy that knows another guy that knows someone and they're missing, that kind of thing. So yeah, I was looking at Zen Dog over at Rumble. I was like waiting for YouTube to kill. I'm like sitting on pins and needles here. I think any minute they're going to cut my stream, but it doesn't matter because I'm semi casting. I'm broadcasting on Rumble. So there's this. I'm going to go back to this. This is a screenshot from supposedly the Guadalupe River, and it is the river. I confirmed it's the river, but look at that truck. And guess what? My company I fly with now sent an aircraft there. I know Lone Star Dustoff flew there. I know those guys. And some of the Coast Guard guys that flew there, I know those guys. And I have aerial shots of the river, and there's no way this debris could even build up here. This whole debris field right here is fake. Why? I don't know. I really don't know. But this debris here is fake. Now, I can show you tons of real debris, right? So the flood did happen, and there is actual debris, but for some reason they throw this fake stuff out there, and maybe because the girls didn't die, they have to throw fake stuff. So fake stuff mixed with the real stuff, because it's fascinating. It's fascinating. It's fascinating. Well, if you're interested in that, wait till you see what I found on the news reports for this thing. I'm going to help you out, though. At the end of this news report, I'm going to play. This thing's several minutes long, and it's several different reports. All right, so this flood, let me give you the history real quick. The flood takes place basically every 10 years. All right, every 10 years. From the earliest history I could find was 1913, 1926, 1930-something, 1940-something, 1950-something, and so on and so forth. 1987, 1990-something, 2014, 13, and then 2025. It's not every 100 years. And every single time, check this out, guys, every single report has 33 in it. Dun, I almost feel like I need to play dun, dun, dun. Yeah, 33. So to save time so we're not here live all night long, I picked the 3 most profound ones because I could play you hours of 33s. I can play you hours of it. I can. And I'm going to play some right now for you. And I want you to understand what my gift, God has given me a gift to spot lying. Why? I don't know. Maybe I'm supposed to help you guys out. I'm supposed to help myself out for sure. I'm nothing special. Like you see, I don't turn my camera on unless you call in because of virtue. This is not about me. This is about the message. When somebody calls in and they show their camera, if they want to show themselves, I'll show myself. But this isn't about me showing multiple angles of my head and all kinds of, not me. This is truth being brought to you, right? I don't know why I can spot it, but let me explain this. I watched the Fox News report of a camp counselor talking about the flood, and she was making the whole thing up. How do I know this? Well, when somebody is lying, they look to the right, because when they're looking to the right, their creation part of their brain is on the right, and they constantly glance to the right as they're creating the story. And then also in the raw moments that you should be sad, they laugh and smile. It's called duping delight. It's a weird situation where an actor or actress will unfortunately giggle a little bit, and they don't mean to, and they realize they do it, and then they stop. But you'll see in the report of Fox News at the very end of this video I'm going to show you, you'll have the crisis actor girl. She is a crisis actor talking to Fox News. She giggles when she talks about little girls missing and dying. It's weird. And she looks to the right the whole time. So without further ado, let's play this. Listen for the 33s. I picked some of them out for you so it'd be easier for you to spot them. But check this out.
Good evening. It was a nightmare in broad daylight in South Texas today when a bus and a van carrying campers were caught in high waters en route to a rafting expedition. 43 people tried to reach high ground. They were swept away, most of them teenagers. Tonight, 2 are dead, 8 are missing, and 33 have been rescued. NBC's Jane Peterson reports from Comfort, Texas, which is just south of San Antonio.
Rescue efforts began almost immediately to save the teenagers floundering in the swirling Guadalupe River. Helicopters pulled some of the teenagers from trees. Most of the victims hung on and reached safe ground, although one 16-year-old lost her grip and died hours later.
It's hard to get to them through the trees.
So what's the next step?
Go back out there and try again.
The teenagers were being evacuated from Camp Pot of Gold, a Baptist church camp, during a driving rainstorm. It had begun early this morning, dumping about 11 inches of new water into the rising Guadalupe. At 8:30, their bus driver headed onto a flooding bridge.
Buses stalled out and the water was it was real deep, so we were going to try to get out and get to the road. It wasn't too far back, and it started washing people away.
Workers tried to keep an accurate list of who had been rescued and who was still missing.
Get their birthday, names, addresses.
The teenagers, all of them cold, were rushed to 2 nearby hospitals. 2 of the survivors are described as being in serious condition. After doctors examined them, most of the teenagers were taken to a school shelter. They looked relieved, but some said they worried about their friends.
But I'm scared for everybody else who hadn't made it yet.
Back home in Dallas at the Kerrville Baptist Church, which had sent the children to camp, parents waited for word about their children.
We just got in contact with the hospital. She's okay. She's with Teresa.
She's okay, baby. She's okay.
The level of the Guadalupe River is dropping, now below flood stage at the accident site. The rescue effort is continuing. Workers say they'll keep searching past nightfall until every teenager has been found. Jane Peterson, NBC News, Comfort, Texas.
One rescuer took 6 teenage girls from a tree. He said they were holding hands at the time. They were praying, and understandably, they were hysterical.
On Friday morning, July 17th, 1987, the small town of Comfort, Texas, became the scene of a heroic rescue and tragic loss. Much of the footage you will see was taped on that day by the banks of the Guadalupe River.
It was the day they were supposed to go home. The more than 300 children at the church camp were awakened early. The river was flooding. If they didn't leave soon, their buses might not be able to leave at all.
They come in there rushing us up and everything, telling us to get up, get packed and all this stuff, and everybody was asking why. They said we got to get out of here because the river was flowing over.
We started going around the corner, were to go down the hill, then water started coming in the bus and stuff. We tried to back up, but then the bus got stuck, so they made all of us get out of the bus.
And that's whenever the first wave hit us and started scattering people to different trees.
Kids clinging onto the trees like ants, surrounded by rushing water. Chris Ray was the first to be rescued.
How many are there of you?
There's the bus over 40.
How many?
40. In the bus? Well, the bus. We all got the bus. The bus started going down.
As news bulletins spread the word of the flood and accident, more help arrived. But many parents feared the worst.
I know for me that it was like you've got two daughters down there. Now, obviously, they both are not going to make it. You know, which one would you choose? Which one would you have come back?
I mean, it seemed like every tree had a facial to in it. It was a very dangerous situation when we're literally surrounded by trees, protecting trees with our blades.
There he is, right there. Okay, he died. Look at the light there. He took the rope off.
Masterman tried repeatedly to rescue 14-year-old Melanie Finley, but she was ripped away by the river. The rescuers were lowered, knowing that if they got caught in the trees, they would be cut loose. Sergeant Mackenzie first tried to reach 16-year-old Scott Chatham, already weakened by leukemia and chemotherapy. Took hours, but the Army rescuers pulled 26 people out of the trees. By 11:30 that morning, it was over. 33 people had been saved. Killed by leukemia and chemotherapy. Took hours, but the Army rescuers pulled 26 people out of the trees. By 11:30 that morning, it was over. 33 people had been saved. But 10 children died in the waters of the Guadalupe River. Over. 33 people had been saved.
This event is referenced as a 500-year flood by the National Weather Service, marking history not only because of its staggering rainfall, but because this occurred just 4 years after the floods of 1998. Another 500-year flood. Gulf moisture pushed into South Texas and the Hill Country. And on July 1st, the San Antonio airport picked up over 9 inches of rain, which stands as the heaviest one-day rain record for July history. Flash flooding expanded from San Antonio through the Hill Country and all the way up to Abilene.
And here's a look at the rainfall map. The bullseye spot was northern Atascosa County, western Bexar County, parts of Medina, Bandera, Kendall, and southern Kerr County, where this pink contour is reflecting over 21 inches of rainfall between San Antonio, Bernie, Hondo, and Bandera.
This event produced the highest 8-day rain total at 45.1 inches in Kendall County. Floodwaters resulted in 12 fatalities, damage to over 40,000 homes, which estimated to be around $1 billion in damage. 24 counties were designated as federal disaster areas. Record river flows were observed along the Medina, San Antonio, Sabinal, and Nueces River, measuring over 67,000 cubic feet per second, resulting in a 500-year flood between June 30th and July 7th, 2002.
We are at the Blue Oak RV Park in Kerrville, and as you can see, things are pretty bad here. I talked to the owners, and they said that they had 33 RVs and mobile homes on
0.1 inches in Kendall were observed along the Medina
the property right in
over 67,000 cubic feet per second, resulting in a 500-year flood between June 30th and July 7th, 2002.
We are at the Blue Oak RV Park in Kerrville, and as you can see, things are pretty bad here. I talked to the owners, and they said that they had 33 RVs and mobile homes on the property right in this area, and they are all gone. You can see this kayak behind me is clearly 20 feet or so off the ground, and you know, it is just stuck there behind the trees and debris. And over here, this is an RV from another park, not even from here, but it was further upstream, and it is completely wrapped around this tree. So things are completely devastated. Now, the owners told me that they checked the weather at around 2:30 a.m. on July 4th, and they saw nothing. And right over there, that is the actual river. This water we've been seeing is not the Guadalupe River, but that's over there where you can see those trees that look like they've been cut off at the tree trunk. And they said at around 3:30 a.m. they were hit by a 24-foot high wall of water. And that is confirmed by some of the data we've seen from the
and I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but citing 3:30 a.m. is also putting a 33 in there. There's a lot of those too, by the way.
National Weather Service as well. Had 33 RVs and mobile homes on the property.
All right, so here are the stock photos of these girls who apparently their families don't have anything else on them at all online whatsoever other than these pictures. And their families don't do anything like human beings. Like there's no, I understand some people don't have Facebook and whatnot, but we're talking.
Holly Kate Hurley
nothing.
is a counselor at Camp Mystic. Thank you for being here today. And Holly Kate, your presence to help us all understand what happened is super important. So I appreciate you coming on and your bravery, and you're a beautiful young woman. Tell us what it was like when you realized what was happening.
Look at her smiling.
So I was with my campers in the middle of the night. It was about 1:30 in the morning. And rain just kind of started coming through our windows. I woke my girls up, told them to close the windows, and then the power just went out. All the fans turned off. Running water didn't work. And in the morning, they gathered all the counselors who were at Cypress Lake, and they told us that two of the cabins with the 7-year-old girls were
so funny that 7-year-old girls
wiped
died.
away, and that all these girls were missing. And we went back to our cabins and, you know, tried to keep up good spirits with these young girls.
Holly Kate, I know how difficult this is for you. We want to thank you for sharing your story. It helps us and our viewers to understand what you all have gone through, and maybe perhaps what's going to come in the future when you try and absorb all this. When you went to rescue your girls, I'm assuming this is 4 o'clock in the morning, I guess, 4:30. Could you see anything?
So me and all my girls were in our cabin. Luckily, the flood did not hit my area of the camp, my cabin. I don't know.
Okay, I have to pause this because the Mystic Camp was 25 feet underwater. Okay, so not only is she bad acting, she's lying completely. I would say this person, if she's not AI, maybe she's not even real, I don't know. But she definitely, if she was there, the flood hit the entire, I might have a picture of that. I want to show, man, I had a picture of Camp Mystic from the sky from one of my buddies, took a picture of it. He flew over it. The entire thing was 20 feet underwater. So yeah, the flood did hit where she was, if she was there.
What the girls on the other side did, I just know that they had to evacuate in the middle of the night.
Holly Kate, can you tell us a little bit about Camp Mystic?
Yeah, so I started going to Camp Mystic in 2015 when I was 10 years old. My grandmother was a camper at Camp Mystic in the late 1930s. I have just treasured it as my home away from home. I've grown so much as a person. I've met some lifelong best friends through Camp Mystic, and you know, I've learned how to do archery, how to ride a horse, how to, you know, make friends, and it's really meant so much to me in my life. Yeah.
It's a big part of your life. We were showing a map last hour that shows some of the camp was on high ground, some of the camp was on lower ground.
None of the camp was on high
Were
ground.
you on the high ground?
That's not true.
Holly Kate?
Not true.
Yes. Yeah.
And
there's no high
could you
ground for that
see,
camp.
or what could you sense from that river nearby?
I just remember, you know, waking up and getting out of my cabin. We had people who worked in our office who, you know, were bringing us breakfast. And I got out of my cabin, and my campers were like, look at the lake, look at the river. And I just remember like seeing the waterfront was like gone. And the dam was completely flooded. The river was like dark brown, like you couldn't see anything. It was really scary.
Holly Kate, what was it like?
The water was dark brown. You couldn't see anything. The flood happened at 3:30 a.m. 3:30. Not to mention that's 3:3 right there. But of course the water was dark and you can't see anything. It's dark. It was 3 in the morning.
To try to reunite the parents with their campers.
I think I was just in shock. I mean, like, God bless the Army, and
That's another thing people do too. I don't know if you guys picked up on this. When someone's acting and they're trying to remember their lines, they say "I mean." They'll use an "I mean." I can't remember what from speech class. It's there's a term for it. It's a pausing statement, so your mind can catch up what you're supposed to talk about. Also, she's looking off into the distance. There's somebody coaching her too. I don't know if you guys are noticing that. She's saying God, but God is a general statement. God could be your money. God could be Lucifer, right? They never say the word Jesus.
you know, everyone who helped us evacuate, seeing little girls run to their parents and just like hug them and cry, and also seeing some parents who were looking for their little girls and they weren't there.
Yeah.
I was on the last bus to arrive. We all arrived safely. But that's just a sight I don't think I'll ever forget.
Holly Kate, is there anything that you would ask our audience to do now for all of you?
Pray, donate if you can to the Kerrville Flood Fund. There's still a lot of people missing, so spreading awareness and just bringing light to the situation, and you know, giving the families who need it just your thoughts and prayers.
Holly Kate, there's a lot of people going to be relying on you to stay strong, so we're sending our best to you and others by that way.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Great
Oh,
job.
boy.
Thanks.
Fox News really wrapped that one up, didn't they? So the sad thing is now the Kerrville Flood Fund is a real thing, guys. If you do want to help and you do donate to it, it will go to people that had things taken from them. So people really did lose things. People were really hurt, and there were people killed, but the number is extremely exaggerated. I don't have a real number on this because this happens every 10 years. And my best guess is it's some type of ritual where they identify a family that has to be brought in, and they give their homage. And I don't think they're actually hurting anybody, which is weird. It's a really weird thing because those little girls, I don't think they died. I don't think they exist. And like I said, if I'm wrong, you can you find something I don't This is my email, awakened_saint@yahoo.com. If you find contrary information to what I found and you have a different hypothesis, send it to me and I will investigate and go live with it. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I think this is what's going on. It's very strange. Very, very strange. Well, that is the live stream for now. So I'm going to take a break and allow you guys, anyone that wants to call in, I have it scrolling on the bottom. You can log into StreamYard.com, log in. Now, the guy that logged in last live stream was an obvious troll, okay? I was hoping the guy would expose himself. Here's the situation. Log in. If you don't believe, like you're just aggressive and you don't, I don't see the Mandela effect, don't even call in. I don't want to talk to you. I'm not in the business of changing your mind. I'm just in the business of showing you the truth. Like when I show you the truth, then and you don't want to accept it, that's up to you. All I present here is the truth. That's it. And if it doesn't resonate with you, it doesn't, and that's fine. And I still love you. It's fine. But if you do log in, you have to allow your mic and camera. Now leave your camera on and show yourself. And then I'm going to announce, like I am right now, I'm going to say I have somebody live. Give me thumbs up if you want your camera on. And then if you give me thumbs up, I'll bring you forward with your camera on. If you say no, I'll give you the opportunity to turn your camera off, and then I'll bring you forward. But I want to see who's calling in. Nobody's going to call in anonymous. We're not doing that again. It's just frustrating. All right. So when I play the break music, maybe this is what gets me cut off. I don't know. This is very interesting. I think I've been on YouTube the whole time. They haven't shut me down. So I'll play this video, and if somebody calls in, that's awesome. I'll talk to them, and then I'll hit the chat room and anything I missed in the chat room, if there were questions and whatnot, because I haven't really been looking in the chat room a whole lot. So hopefully things are going good in the chat room. So give me about 3 minutes. We'll play this Isaiah video of the Dear Atheist, and then I will be back to talk to you or talk to whoever calls in.
But I'm still praying that you see this. Dear atheist. And you don't believe in God, but please tell me, how are there demons? Dear atheist. So you believe in evolution, the monkeys and fishes solution. Dear atheist. Look, you don't gotta be a genius, even if you don't believe in Jesus. Jesus. How they brainwash man so bad to make you think you came from a monkey? I guess the same way they brainwashed the Egyptians, making them think when you die, you can take money. A whole lot of gold next to a mummy. Wow. To be real though, this ain't funny. Why people perish because of lack of knowledge. In other words, they perish because they choose to be a dummy. How they get us to fight each other when every single one of us came from Adam and Eve? How can't you see it's a devil agenda when they're trying to make Adam and Eve Adam and Steve? Been lied to all our life. Now they want me to call husband or wife. Want me to use exact pronouns, even if it's cat. How that sound? Nowadays they say doctors made a mistake when they say you're a boy or a girl. I would call them a nut, but they might take it as a compliment, thinking that they're a squirrel. And they claim we're the ones forcing. Save the animals, no more meat portion. The same ones telling us not to kill cows will be the same ones protesting abortion. When white kills black, put it on television. When black kills black, let's keep it hidden. When black kills white, they should forgive them. It's not us, it's the system that's causing division. Whoa, it's the devil that's causing collision. If there's a devil, there gotta be a God. How much truth can I put in one verse? 9/11 was an inside job. I've been on construction sites. Buildings don't fall like that without bombs inside. Tapping into the matrix, one push it, how you asking? Should we blame Osama or Bush? How you living if you got God missing? How you listen if you don't pay attention? How you quiet and you say you a follower? Ain't no such thing as a silent Christian, nah.
They want us blind so we can't see. They want us weak, so we just carry on, carry on. But now I'm tired, I gotta speak.
6 times. Follower of Christ, we don't choose compromise. What else? When you don't choose compromise, you're dangerous in their eyes. No lies. Dear atheists, I really just pray you ain't hating this. And I ain't trying to make you believe in God by being afraid of hell. That ain't the way I'm painting this. I'm just saying, what if there isn't a God and you don't believe? Then it's just like, oh well. What if there is a God and you don't believe and you're on your way to hell? Cause all the warnings, you didn't take them. When God sent Christians, you would forsake them. They tried to love you, but you would hate them. They tried to build you, but you would break them. You wouldn't embrace them.
They want us blind so we can see. They want us weak. So we just carry on. But now I'm tired. I gotta speak. And if they silence me, I pray the message you carry on. They want us blind so we can't see. They want us weak. So we just carry on. But now I'm tired. I gotta speak. And if they silence me, I pray the message you carry on.
All right. Well, no one called in, and that's fine. If somebody does call in while I'm checking the chat room out, I'll allow that. I will talk to them. So I'm going to start with Rumble first. Make sure I didn't miss anything. Mostly Sunshine and Maine over there, and I've answered her a little bit. Michelle said, I'm late. Hope I didn't miss much. I don't know when you logged in to say that, so I don't know how much you did miss. I think it'll post, though. You should be okay. Anybody else have trouble with sound? I guess Sunshine and Maine said it was cutting in and out, but that might have been just on Rumble. I'm not sure. Let me go back on YouTube. I'm still on YouTube? Man, I'm still on YouTube. Okay, that's great. This is just weird. It's weird that they're playing weird games. Who knows? They're probably just the laws will pass that they cut our heads off for telling the truth. So they're letting me tell a whole lot of truth so I can hang myself, I guess. I don't know. All right, let's see here. A lot of hellos. Tonette's here. Justine's here. Guideline Strike's here. Beth. I'm not seeing. Hey, there's a dog named Boo. A dog named Boo. Seeking wisdom coaching. I think that's Lim Lonnie. I think. Yeah. Limlani, right? Yeah, she made the other song for me that I was using as my intro. Hope you guys like the new intro. The in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God, and the Word was God. God was Word. And I liked it. It kind of gets you a gut punch in the very beginning there. I'm looking for Ashley, aloha all. So that must be Hawaii, huh, Ashley? Looking for any questions. I'm not seeing questions. You guys understand why there's 33 reasons the flood's a little strange, huh? Very strange. It's a weird one because it's a real event and people are getting hurt and dying. And the main group of people they want us to be sad for don't exist. It's really odd. It's one of the oddest things I had to report on, to tell you the truth. I can't get my mind totally wrapped around it. I have theories, but like I said, right here, if you guys have any better theories than me, please email me at wakened_saint@yahoo.com. If you guys have a theory on what this is, or maybe I'm just shooting out of left field and you're like, you're crazy, it's all completely real, Mike, what the heck's wrong with you? Then I will definitely I'm willing to look at anything without embracing it, right? I will check it out. I definitely get things wrong, but man, I think I'm getting this one right. I just don't know why. I don't have the why. It's some kind of ritual. That's all I can say. Other than that, I don't know the why. Not knowing the why sometimes causes people to not want to know the truth, which is fascinating too. You're like, well, if you don't know why, well, then you're not getting it right. That doesn't even make any sense. I can know something's fake and not know why they're faking it. So All right, guys, let's try. Stavely fell off. He has a new career. Amazing. So yeah, Stavely is selling real estate now. I noticed. There's something odd with. I'm not sure 100% with Stavely what's going on, because I right around the flat Earth, the final experiment time, I called Stavely because I wanted his opinion on it, because now he lived with Karen B, and Karen B's 100% supporting those people. And I was just like, man, where's Stavely going to stand on this? So it probably makes sense that he's kind of just going to be quiet about it. And he hasn't come out and said he supported it or he's against it, which he's not doing the truth community anymore. He's not being involved in it at all. So there's that, right? All right, if nobody's going to call in, I'll go ahead and get rid of the StreamYard link. That's gone. That's my email. If you do want to get a hold of me, like I said, challenge me. Show me what you have too. Add to the story. If you find more 33s, I got to tell you, I found at least 14, I believe. And I narrowed it down to the 3 best ones. I think I showed you 3. Was it 3 or 4? I can't remember. But I showed you the best ones. But there is more. There's I can tell you this, everything I looked at had a 33 in it. Every single thing, which was really odd. It's almost like seeing the Mandela effect for the first time, because you're like, whoa, is this world real? What am I seeing? You know, but it's very odd, very, very strange. I'm not bashing Stavely at all, Michael John. I'm telling you just facts. I haven't heard from him since the final experiment, so I don't know what's going on. And Karen B supports them. I'm not bashing her either. I'm just saying she supports them, and I don't support supporting lies, you know, so not bashing anybody. I'm just telling the truth, just telling the truth. Sometimes the truth does hurt if you're on the wrong side of it. It's Jesus said it's a 2-edged sword, right? It cuts both ways. Yeah. Not you, brother. The chat. Oh, okay. Somebody bashing Stavely. Yeah, don't bash anybody in here. Even Snowman. You know, I mean, I love everyone, and you guys that know me know who Snowman is. So you know, I don't want to bash anybody at all. I just want the truth. That's all I want. Nothing more than that. Because, yeah, Yahusha is the truth, the way, and the life. If you can't love the truth, and the truth is not important, the truth cannot set you free. He's given us the our salvation, our grace. He's given us the way out, and we have to love the truth so we can get out of this crazy 33 place. On Rumble, a lot of people didn't really go over to Rumble because I guess YouTube hung in there. I have Lacey says they said Kerrville is where the second eclipse intersected. That eclipse thing, the whole story was Masonic created, so I backed out of that. And I could have done a rescinding video on it, but that entire thing was created by the Masons, and they actually know where the eclipses are going to take place, and they staged towns and buildings to line up with it to make it look like it's some kind of inspirational thing, but they knew it was coming. So it's almost like watching the Simpsons tell the script and thinking they're telling the future. It really wasn't that. So there you go. Let's see here. Annie, Trump is the son of perdition. It's simple. Well, maybe. I don't know. You know, I know Trump's an actor for sure. He's not. He's definitely not going to save us. Only Jesus will save us. Oh, let's see. Did I miss anything else? All right. Well, I'm going to close out this live stream. I'm getting ready to sneeze. I'm trying not to sneeze and talk at the same time. That would be bad. All right. So I'm going to close this out. I don't know when I'll be live again, actually, because I got to work through my schedule. It may be this weekend, maybe next weekend. I'm not going to go live just to go live, but you know, if something comes up, yeah, I'll turn my camera on real quick. See, look, I'm right here. Hello, I'm right here, guys. So yeah, I do have a camera, and I do show myself. I'm not hiding behind anything. It's just like I said, it's virtue. I'm not going to give my virtue up because it's not about me. It's about the message. I think it's not about selling you anything. If you donate money to me, it goes to the homeless. That's where I send my money. In fact, I would encourage you to give to this Kerrville flood donation thing. It's real. It really will go to people that need help. It's not, don't give to the Red Cross, give to the Kerrville flood And if you give to me in this time frame on PayPal or whatever you decide, if you decide to gift to me, say for Flood, and I'll make sure Flood people get it. Okay. Because I'm not here to sell you something. I'm not here to make money. In fact, I do this at a loss. All these neat graphics, I pay for them myself, and I don't make any money whatsoever at all. Sometimes I cut a quarter of the cost because you guys help out, and that's awesome. I appreciate it. I really do. Rumble helps out more than anything. YouTube cut my funding. They don't like me, but they didn't hang up on me, so that's awesome. All right, awesome suggestions, Mike. Got it. Michael John, thanks for participating, brother. I appreciate you guys. Appreciate you all being in here. Leslie Boslar, am I saying that right? Boslar. I don't want to butcher your name. Aloha from Ashley. Justine is still here. I thought you were going to bed, Justine. Okay, I'm going to stop talking now. I'm gonna end it. Remember to seek the truth. The truth is the most important thing that we have going for us. And we live in a time frame now that people literally, the truth hurts them to hear it. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to face it, especially when the truth affects the way of life and they don't want to change, like accepting grace to be saved. People will argue with you that you don't have to change, but Jesus said that you will sin no more. The old man will die. You will enter the water and be reborn again. Unless you're born again, you will not enter the kingdom of heaven. Paul said to work out your salvation with fear. Why would he say that if all you had to do is raise your right hand, say something, and then you're allowed to do whatever you want? You have to accept Jesus. You have to repent. And then you have to sin no more. You have to avoid sin. And every time you venture off in the wrong direction, you have to rinse and repeat. You don't get to just walk into the kingdom of heaven. Narrow is the path. Many are called, few will make it. Many are called, few are chosen. That's just the fact that it's what it is. It's not, wide is the path to damnation, and that's true. So we need to realize that. Work out your salvation with fear. Every one of us, especially me, every one of us need to look inward and pray that we're doing the right thing and that we can hear at the end of this entire thing, when your life is ended on this earth, you will hear, well done, good and faithful servant. Right. The truth, the way, the life. No one goes to the Father except through him. Jesus is the way. He's not a way. He is the way. Look into him, Yahusha, HaMashiach, and I will see you next time, God willing.
Call me out upon the waters, the great unknown, where feet may fail, and there I find you in the mystery, an ocean deep, my faith will stand. So I will call upon your name and keep my eyes above the waves. When oceans rise, my soul will rest in your embrace. For I am yours and you are mine. Your grace abounds in deepest waters. Your sovereign hand will be my guide. Where feet may fail and fear surrounds me, never failed, and you won't stop now. So I will call upon your name and keep my eyes above the waves. When oceans rise, my soul will rest in your embrace. For I am yours, and you are mine. Oh. And you are mine. Oh. Spirit, lead me where my trust is without borders. Let me walk upon the waters wherever you would call me. Take me deeper than my feet could ever wander, and my faith would be made stronger in the presence of my Savior. Spirit, lead me where my trust is without borders. Let me walk upon the waters wherever you would call me. Take me deeper than my feet could ever wander, and my faith would be made stronger in the presence of my Savior. Spirit, lead me where my trust is without borders. Let me walk upon the waters wherever you would call me. Take me deeper than my feet could ever wander, and my faith would be made stronger in the presence of my Savior. I will call upon your name. Keep my eyes above the waves. My soul will rest in your embrace. I am yours, and you are mine.
Approaching minimums. 100. Minimums. 30. 20. 10.
Speed brakes up. Reverser's normal.
Your zeal blinds you to the truth. The New Jerusalem will not be built by murder and uprisings. The wisdom of God will fill the land as water fills the sea. The lion will lie down with the lamb. There'll be no more killing or destroying. And the voice of weeping shall be heard no more.